Good morning. Can you hear me? Oh, you're muted. Why are you muted? The horrors.
I know it unmuted.
Oh, now the horrors.
I think it's all responding really slowly because I cut off the opening credits a few seconds before they finish because my face keeps moving while the music is finished. I haven't got it like perfectly aligned. So while it still kind of plays, then
Yeah.
if I put us on the screen, we're mute. So I think it's just like a little delay because
Okay.
I know that I got stuck on the mute for a little while on Tuesday. How are you?
Morning. Ooh, it's like an earthquake of my hands. I'm good. How are you doing? I think it's sunny. I think it's trying. I think it's springtime.
It was sunny for a couple of days here, and then today was so foggy and mystical.
Oh, cool. It's feeling like finally some things are starting to open up, isn't it? I know. How was the eclipse for you as well? Like it's been such a roller coaster, hasn't it? The eclipse, the
Yeah.
retrograde.
So we've had, to those of you that join us, dry.
Yeah. Morning. Hi.
We've just had the first couple of eclipses of 2026. One was on the first day of Holy Month Ramadan, on Chinese New Year, and the 16th, 17th of February. And that was in, I want to say, Aquarius.
Yes. 17th.
Yeah.
Yes. 17th. Yes. Sorry. Brain.
And
Brain.
now we've just had, like 2 days ago, we had a total lunar eclipse, which I did not see because I slept through it, in Virgo. Yes. And that's that's the first pair of the year. And the whole week I've been like a day out. I keep thinking it's the wrong day.
Yeah.
Marcus, that watches us, messaged me on Monday to say your show is not showing on my YouTube, and I was like, tomorrow, babe. So I've not been the only one that's been, and my children who have a very strict routine in that they know that the Monday and what day is PE, they know the Tuesday and what day is swimming. They've been a day out, so it's definitely the moon, and it's definitely like the astrology.
I mean, it'd be their Mercury retrograde in Pisces as well. It's like, what is time anyway?
Yeah, exactly. It's meaningless. But I woke up after the eclipse like this.
Bing! Yeah.
Ready for everything. And over the last few days, I had like loads of projects, loads of writing, and I am Pisces, so my mind wanders. I did not have the privilege of mind wandering, so I've had to be like really focused and write. And I'm no writer. don't listen to anybody that booked me, but I'm no writer. I don't have the focus for it. I don't have the like natural gift for it. So in order to overcome that, I need to write 3-4 articles at once and switch in between all of them, to keep it fun for me. Anyway, after the eclipse, start an article on the first word. An hour and a half later, finish it on the last word. Wow. Marvel, press send, get like feedback a couple of minutes later going, I love it. I can't believe you sort of got this in there and you got this in there. Yeah. So I am loving the eclipse.
That's amazing. It's cleared. I think it's clearing things a bit, isn't it? Even though it might not be the most fun clearing, people are being a bit but it's I even had a couple of clients who've been struggling to clear stuff for a while. And when you're kind of doing readings and there's like a thing to deal with, and we all take time on dealing with certain things. It's I have plenty of things.
I'm like,
it's not about but just seeing quite a few people at the same time going, oh yeah, well, I feel different now. I'm like, yes, like it's done its thing. Things have shaken something up, haven't they?
Yeah. Let me show you the most insane, like real life example of it. So Yesterday after the eclipse, it's such a dull, such a boring topic, but all around our roads, they've been changing like the gas meters and the electricity meters to smart meters.
Yeah.
We have listed it because we're a household of Pisces and progress is not really for us. But now they've come to a point where the old ones don't work anymore. So we have to come and change our meters.
Yeah.
All I had to do was open the door, say, yes, I am she. He's like, where are your meters? I was like, why don't we look for them together? You know, where's your fuse box? Your guess is as good as mine. So he goes, changes it. He comes back and he says, okay, so that was your meter reading. And now your gas starts, like the new meter starts from 0 and your electricity starts from 0. Mm-hmm. So all our readings now are on 0. And I was like, really? Just after this eclipse?
Yeah.
Curiously. How curious. Yeah. So we have a little thing here that counts it like from 0. That's going to go in the drawer, by the way. Once it's finished charging, it's going to find its, he was going to take the box away. And I was like, no, we'll be needing the box. This is not staying here on the shelf. It doesn't look Pisces on the shelf. It's going to go in the drawer. Does it work? I said, does it work even if it's in the drawer? He's like, yeah. Does it need charging? No, it doesn't need it. That's going in the drawer. But seeing 0 and 0 is just so mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, I am the same when the people have come to do things around my flat. They're like, where's the meter? I'm like, hold on. It's in there somewhere. There's the pathway to find it is in here. They're like, and they can't believe that I don't know where it is off the top of my head. I'm like,
yeah. He's like, how do you switch your gas? We have like a gas fire in the living room. How do you switch the gas fire? I'm like, I've never done it. How long have you been here? I'm like 15 years. No, I've never done. No one's ever done it. I suggest that you take a safe distance if you're planning to try and light a fire in there.
Anything could happen.
Anything. Keep safe. I understand you're a professional. Be safely, because 15 years we live here and not one person has, it's not occurred to anybody. Let's do something with it. No, it's very pretty. It stands there. So yeah, let's see what everybody else's eclipse experiences have been. Let's see who we've got. So we've got Marcus first saying, ladies, hello, and I hope you're both okay. And of course, the kitties in Laura's case nearly finished the book.
Oh, yay. Awesome. Thank you, Marcus.
Marcus nearly finished. Good Laura's book that she wrote by herself. Hello, everyone else. Please remember to like and subscribe. Absolutely, this is for everybody. The more likes you put, the easier it makes it for us to, to stay here for you. Spawn says, Inbaal, Laura, Marcus, chat, morning and blessings to all. And your good friend Colleen is here saying good morning.
Hello, beautiful.
I'll be in listen mode as I tend to the horses.
So if I talk to the horses through this, if I talk to the horses, then they'll be able to hear.
Yeah, it means that the horses can hear you. What noises do you make for horses?
Do you want treaties? Do you like treaties?
Oh, really?
I just talk to them. I don't know. Maybe Colleen has different noises that she makes. I just talk to them, and but I like that they give you little noises of like recognition, or and I like that when they get used to you, they go poof, like there's a little bit of a mouth and nasal poof, to say hello, good to see you, and I go hello.
Oh, I didn't know that they had like little words that
little noises that sort of say, oh hey, hello, oh hello. It almost feels like a little bit of a mini neigh where they just recognize you, and I know it's because I feed them. I know it's not for pure love, but we'll go with it.
But that's mammals.
Yeah. Yes.
I know that my own children are very devoted to me, but I am under no illusion that if the food stopped, the love might stop. But yeah, I was just thinking if there's like traditional noises, because for cats it's like,
oh yeah,
and for dogs you can just sort of speak whatever language, but then for camels you go.
Wow, do you? I can't roll my heart. Camels won't talk to me because I can't roll my heart.
Yeah, no, you do. I'm pretty sure that is fine for it's good for a camel. It's good for a camel. So I think there's just like different, different noises that almost like transcend culture that you'll do for kitties and stuff. So I was just wondering whether there were any for
Yeah, maybe
horses. But I'm
Colleen
hearing,
maybe
yeah,
Colleen knows
yes.
more than me. Yeah, let me know, Colleen, any noises that you or any ways of speaking to them. I go, hello, who's my favorite boy? It's generally my
The same noises for horses, for doggies.
yes, the same voice.
Ah. And Simeon is here saying, good morning. Hope all is well with you all, and kitties are good too, Laura.
They're just looking at the world at the moment. They sit in the window, which is quite sweet because everyone gets a lot of pleasure from them sitting cuddling in the window, because people kind of walk by and go, oh, and they're like, hello.
Oh, that is cute. I think when you go past a window that always has like the animal presence, there's like a comfort in there.
Yeah.
I used to take the bus from Acton to Shepherd's Bush, and it's like a long bus and it goes straight all the way. And one of the houses had like a huge parrot in the window. And there was like such a joy to seeing a parrot in such an urban part of town as well. There were barely any trees there. It was not a super poverty area, but it really wasn't fancy. And then you go past, it was like 217, and it's got like this big green thing in the window, and it was like real, like it moved. It wasn't always there, but when it was there, it was such a joy.
That's comfort. Yeah, it's funny what a joy just even seeing an animal brings to people just walking by, and in the light in the faces. It's so nice. And mine too, obviously, all the time.
Spawn goes, they tried to get me to have a smart meter. I flat out refused. Yeah, we've been refusing for a decade. And we just sort of caved because we run out of excuses. And I'm not anti-progress. I just want you to do it for me. And, and if I didn't want it, this, it goes in the drawer. But yeah, I'm with Spawn on this one. Stephanie is saying, hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Where in the world are you?
Yeah. Oh, bless you.
Divine says, hello, lovely ladies.
Morning.
Missed you in the last live.
Oh.
And she says, can I have a general tarot reading, please? Thank
you.
Shall we do a little reading?
Yes, of course. Let's have a look. Okay. Divine Goddess. Should we go? Who wants to go first?
Why don't I go first? Because mine are sort of quite subtle, so I'm sort of counting for. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I was thinking maybe you'll give us like a bombastic ending. But yeah, all I've got is your joy of travel. And that needs to be realized. And it literally doesn't matter where. It can be near, it can be far. You just need a different view in front of your eyes. And it says that at the moment, you're ready for love, but you're not ready for heartbreak. And in a way, the fact that you want to go into love, but you don't want to go into heartbreak makes me think, are you manifesting the heartbreak, goddess? Because if you say, I want to go into love and I'm ready to go into pure joy, then that's one thing. But when you say, I don't want to have my heart broken, then you're turning heartbreak into a reality where it might not even be literally on the cards for you. So yeah, they're very subtle, they're very gentle, but I feel like they're smacking you a bit.
Wow. You can't make this stuff up. I always love it. You hear me gasp. The King of Pentacles and the Three of Cups.
Goodness
and then the Two of Swords. So it's a bit different, but also a very similar vibe because, but like the first two cards are identical. So anyone that doesn't know the tarot, that's quite rare. It's quite rare. It's quite rare to get in a reading to get the two identical cards. So I just love that. So the universe went twice. Okay. I feel like this is about crafting a new space to be open to joy and to be open up, and even doesn't have to, even if it's not trusting romance just yet, like, you know, Inbaal was saying, which we'll look at in just a second, it feels like going into where do you find joy in your day-to-day life? What opens you up to joy in your, with your friends, with your family, with your animals, with your work? It feels like there's a more focus on opening to joy and doing really practical changes, practical movements, practical things which move you forwards in that direction. But interestingly, yes, you've got the Two of Swords in this, which has that balance of light or dark. And it's like, what path do you want to choose? Exactly like with the Five of Cups, it's hard to choose. It's very Eclipsey energy as well, isn't it? This card, it's hard to choose the light when you've experienced, well, it could be this, but at the very least, have a nice balanced look at things and go, well, I'm going to choose this, and trusting yourself enough to know that you can choose, that you're not stuck in a situation which is going to hurt you, that you can choose to. I think that's Mercury's lesson to you as well. There feels to be a real new mindset coming in about the practical changes you're making towards your love and your happiness. I just love we got the same cards. That's just brilliant.
I know, that was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And I haven't even thought of the Mercury retrograde. So we're however many days into it. We've got 2 weeks left. We're about 10 days into it. How's your retrograde been?
Yeah. It's been it's just more like, because I think it's that very I can't even talk, that's the problem. Mercury and Pisces confusion. It feels like everything's been really churned up and you can't like see where you're going properly or trying to move forwards. Nothing, touch wood, it can always change. My computer normally is a bit of a one that suffers in the retrograde, so we're hoping but we'll see. It's just been a bit deep, I think, which is going to be in Pisces, isn't it? It just felt a bit deep rather than an Aries Mercury retrograde where everything's very angry and raw.
Yeah.
People have been quite angry though. I've noticed people have been a bit angry, but that might be the eclipse as well.
It might be. And I think in a way we've got the Jupiter retrograde for another 5 days as well. We've got the equinox creeping up. So there's a lot of things going on. Actually, can I share? I got something as a present, but I would have totally bought it, and you're going to adore it. Can I show it? So, this
look,
is the year ahead. Susan Miller, like the astrologer in America.
Yes.
It's the year ahead, like a wall thing. And each page has real art from Isaac Zanu, who is like the fashion guy. He's been like a fashion like painter and illustrator. And look how stunning it is.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So, isn't it gorgeous? So it just arrived yesterday, but it's got kind of all the different things that are going on. Not just like, you know, this is the conjunct and stuff, but there's also like cute little words of support throughout. So I was turning around to see what we had for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah.
And St. Patrick's Day, there's not actually that much happening on the day because the full moon is like the day after. We've got like a couple of conjunctions and stuff, but still, even though there's nothing much happening, says the transiting moon is in Pisces. Shamrocks will fall from the sky and the music will play until dawn. Pour a glass of Guinness and raise a toast. Everyone is Irish on this magical day. Fortunate Jupiter will work with Mars to make this day to remember.
Ooh,
fun.
Cool.
I love it. So it's all randomness.
I love it.
Isn't it stunning? And I feel like as art is getting more and more bastardized, more and more.
Yeah.
And big shout out to Lucienne, who has been doing like a really 3-week run.
Yeah, of posting original art. And people go to me, oh, it's just this. I'm like, no.
No. Yeah, no. Exactly. So I was gifted this. I didn't buy it. I would buy it, But when I realized that this is actual art, when even like I'm very suspicious of the kittens that we have on the kitten calendar. I don't even know if they're actual kittens that were ever born. Yeah, I'm so suspicious at the moment.
You counted the claws, like
I did, but they're starting to get smart to the finger count, so that's no longer a way to recognize. But you know, the other day when our friend had put out that with the patch punch, the monkey cuddling that thing, and it was the hair that I was like, the hair doesn't look right, and there are movements that are not right. And I said to her, you know, is it AI? And she was like, oh yeah, I guess it is, and didn't delete it.
It's just
where an actual video of the same thing that is, you know, a truthful one does exist.
Yeah.
So I was very excited about this. I'm suspicious of the kittens. I'm not suspicious of this because
it's a good sentence. I'm suspicious of the kittens.
I am. Aren't you?
Yeah, not these. Well, I'm like, what are they up to?
Exactly. So I just wanted to show it. This is going to be living here behind me. But I love it so much because on the one hand, the full ephemeris, like the Raphael's ephemeris, didn't get published this year. For the first time in decades. It didn't get published this year. And it makes me think, you know, is paper publishing on the way out? Is, you know, is that whole mode of relating on the way out? Because I'll do my horoscopes from the ephemeris, you know, on the computer. Fine. I trust it because it's, you know, it's from people that make ephemerises. But the more we flow into that, the less quality control there is.
Yeah.
And so mistakes and errors and inaccuracies come in. And I've been feeling sort of in a really weird way as we went out of the age of Capricorn into the age of Aquarius, that truth has become really subjective. And I really don't think it is. You know, one of my pet hates is when they say to you in an ex, well, there's your version, his version. No, there's my version, he's a liar. That's the two sides of that coin.
Yeah, I agree. I hate that. I do hate that as well. It's like, it's like a general blanket. There's, or someone told me there's 3 versions. There's your version, his version, and there's a truth. And I was like, which is very close to my version, by the way.
Yeah.
This way, it's headed this way.
If you're acknowledging that there's a truth, then you want to also acknowledge that it is entirely possible for somebody with nothing to lose and no filter to engage with that truth. So in a way, this made me really emotional.
Yes, I think that's a beautiful thing. And it's a bit of joy, isn't it? A bit of light. And
Exactly.
We want a bit of joy.
It was so joyful. And also, I don't know if it's even shallow, but the intersection of fashion and astrology is such a source of happiness for me.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. If it brings you joy, it's got to be a good thing. It's like, that's brilliant. It's brilliant. We need more joy and more good things.
Thank you. We will have more joy.
We will. Yes.
Devices, I love your makeup. Thank you.
I'm looking close to the screen. I want to see your makeup more. Like your lipstick is lovely. I'm getting close. I'm looking in.
Thank you. It's the same one, but I'm normally with no daylight. I like closed curtain because I feel like it reflects better. But I've got daylight at the moment.
Yeah, I
feel like the daylight like flattens my skin visually, not not in real life.
Not like a vampire. Like
stop. I feel like the daylight flattens my skin and ironically makes it look like less genuine. So I like to close it, but I didn't really get around it today because I'm Pisces, and even sometimes shutting the window is
too much. I think my favorite quotes are, I'm suspicious of the kittens and the daylight flattens my skin.
Yeah. So, if any of you is thinking of maybe allowing a Pisces into your life as a friend, as a partner, as a boss, this is how the internal monologue goes. So really sort of give it a good think whether you want to be involved on any level with somebody that will think stuff like
I
that.
love it.
We
Oh,
have the horsey answer.
yes.
Colleen
That.
says, you can talk with your heart, but yes, I use words too.
I love that. Thank you so much, Colleen. I've always realized that horses, they just can't be kidded. Humans can. You can go, yeah, I'm fine, la 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 la, and you can go up to a horse and you'd be like, and they just don't give a. They can feel exactly what is the internal energy, and it's quite humbling. You just go, oh, like, and they react to it. So if you're like freaking out, they're like, whoa, why are you weird? Or if you're just upset, they can just be with you. So I just love it that humans can be fooled, but animals often can't, can they?
No, absolutely. They know immediately. And they know if you're sad, and they'll come and support you, even if you don't admit to yourself that you might be sad.
Yes.
We have, sorry, I'm trying to go to the next message.
Morning.
Lovely. And Lady Thistle is sending a good morning. Oh, Marcus remembers the camel noise, but for cockatiels, it's squawking. How do you have any dealings with birds? I know you like birds. Do you know people with birds?
You know what? Not so much. No, not. I mean, yeah, I don't know anyone.
We need to get some friends with birds.
Yeah, when I was volunteering at Secret World, there was these massive owls. They were clearing out their stall, their little space. So they were just huge. They would just look at me just with a little bit of like a wise old soul in a movie would look at the young fool wandering around. They just had, I didn't even think it
condescendingly.
Yes. So they're like, hello, your master. Like, I'm just clearing your poo-poo. Don't worry. Oh, you've cast a feather. So, the mighty gods. I think they're a bit above our silly conversations, aren't they?
I'm thinking, I coo at owls because I think I can mimic their.
I think said you poo at owls.
No, I poo at everyone, but I coo at owls. Not individual to birds of prey. Stephanie is saying, how is everyone doing? How's everyone? Where is everyone?
Yeah.
And Lady Thistle says, just woke up, but made it.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. We have.
I realised I've not streamed this to my audience. What an absolute fool. So I'm going to do that.
Oh,
and it might
let me pop you off.
Yeah, I might go. So I just realised.
Yeah, let me pop you off so that whatever happens will happen. Without. There we go. So it's you and me, guys. Don't say anything rude about Laura. So this message, I think, very important actually for Laura to see as well. So I'm going to flash a couple of other messages of greeting, of Zimbop saying, when Moon Lord, thank you. When Moon Lord to you too. And Radical Greek says, I'll take dumb meters all day. Absolutely. I resisted a smartphone even for a long time. But yeah, eventually it was inevitable. Yay. There we go. You connected it all very quickly.
It's funny, isn't it? Like we take the precautions that it might send me off air, and it didn't. When we do, so it's like, okay, did it okay.
I know. I feel like that's actually the Mercury retrograde going.
Precautions.
Yeah, that's it. So you came off air, you connected things. Now your entire Facebook's going to be blocked forever, and you won't be able to enter it, or something.
Probably that. Yeah.
Something a bit extra. So we've got from Colleen, I want for you to wait and see it. She goes, okay, I use almost a purr and clicks and a short quick noises like when you need their attention immediately.
Oh, it's
So
lovely.
a purr is a click is a right, and quick noises.
I quite like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think when you name cats, you're supposed to name them something with like an S sound in.
Okay.
Doesn't work for everybody, but because that's the noise that they respond to when you call them.
Ah, that's cool.
So maybe horses respond to the yeah. That's okay. They'll come if they want to. You don't need to manipulate them with evolution.
Yeah. I can tell they know their names. I can tell they know their names, but whether they respond to them.
See, also people.
Yes.
And then I think another one came with from Colleen saying, "Ooh, I've been talking with all the animals, mostly in words, but they understand. Dear turkeys." And one of my favorites is the ravens and crows. The ravens now dance when I bring them eggs. I do too.
I love that.
We used to go out for eggs like years ago.
Oh.
I am a raven. I love that. And so do you talk to them in like repeating words? Is it like generally the same kind of vibe? I'll tell you why I ask, because I used to talk to my cats long ago in English because I live in English. And then when my mom and dad would visit me, I would switch language and the cats would not understand me.
Wow.
They don't just respond to vibes. They know the actual words.
Yes. Yeah. That's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah, it was like clear proof to me that they understand.
Say it in the same tone, but it wasn't like
same tone, different word, and they're like, "Mi no habla." I don't think so. Yeah. Oh, we've got some feedback from Divine saying, "I love travel. I do need that view," and she goes, "I'm going on a short trip today." And that's sorry. Divine and Lady Thistle have really similar color. What do you call it? Like icon.
Yeah.
So sorry. So we'll go back to Lady Thistle's story in a second. Just sort of looking through Divine. And she says, actually, Guy, like he's sorting things out with his ex-wife. Very good. So I like to hear. Sort things out first. Come for my divine goddess after. There are some issues he is resolving. She was cheating on him. Thanks so much, Inbaal. Thank you, Laura. So amazing. Yes. And that also explains the Two of Swords and the Five of Cups that were showing up near her love story.
Yeah.
With cheating, but like obviously the cheating is not with her. It's like secondhand cheating. And then him coming to her fresh from heartbreak. Which on the one hand, a bit of a red flag. On the other hand, whenever a relationship starts, it's always on the ashes of the relationship that ended.
Yeah. Oh, lots of love, Divine Goddess.
And right, so we had on my screen the Divine Goddess and Lady Thistle messages sort of came. They were messaging at the same time, so they were kind of intersecting. So Lady Thistle says, I had an interesting fairy encounter when my classmate came up to study with me. Gave her a cup of homemade tea blend, which I call my fairy blend. We were inundated with goosebumps. Wait, there's more. A card flew off her lap. We were laughing and giggling the whole time. It happened while I was reading the fairy oracle cards for her. And the goosebumps stopped after she left my house.
Amazing. Is it the Brian Froud Fairy Oracle? Because I swear that one. Have you got that one as well, Inbaal, haven't you?
I don't. I've got Le Book.
Oh, yes. I said that deck is so, I love it so much.
It's so good. It's so good. So when I lived in Acton, another story about Acton, isn't that funny? When I lived in Acton,
retrograde times.
Yeah, isn't it? So my room was painted like a dark red from the previous tenant, and I had like my altar in the corner. It was the first time that I had a room with space for an altar. It was like a permanent altar before I got the cats. After I got the cats, permanent altar, it was no longer realistic. But I photocopied, like I color copied. This is like the early 2000s. So color copying was how you reproduce things. At a shop, I color copied like 20 of these and had them like all around the top of the room, like near the lintel, what do you call it, like near the ceiling. And it was such a magical room, and it was really sort of the room where I came into my power. It was my witchy room, and so I'm so like connected to that artwork. But I've never had that oracle deck because I don't really work oracle deck very well. So I think in a lot of ways I use the tarot as an oracle deck, and it's got the oracle. But yeah, what were your experiences with the oracle deck, which sounds to me very visitation-y?
Yeah, it is. It's a one deck where they are alive, and you can almost hear them giggling when you're shuffling them sometimes. And it's oracle decks are always powerful things, but that deck is definitely a portal to fairy. The ones that come out of there and how they come out is always that extra bit of magic. And I've heard other people say they've heard them or felt something like when they shuffle them. There's such magic imbued in Brian and Wendy Froud, and there's such the artists of the Labyrinth as well. And so actually, I'm going to be seeing them this weekend. They're going to be at the Fairy Fair in Glastonbury this weekend. They're just. I try not to be. I try not to be really geek girl. I try to give them their piece. Everyone's like, "We love you." I'm like, "Be calm," but like, oh, like your art is just, again, it's a gateway to the soul. It's a gateway to fairy, and that's how Brian sees it. So you can feel that in the deck. It is a gateway to fairy. It feels that kind of visitation. Yeah. So I'm not surprised you had that amazing experience.
Exactly, and I think there's such a huge difference between people that paint fairies or create fairies in whatever art form, and people who see fairies and have the relationship with them. I used to do like not events. I used to go to some festivals, and there was the lady that would make the fairy wings. Back when fairy wings were like really rare and so expensive, before the Temu. I'm talking almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And she was from Australia, where she said she's always seen fairies. Australian fairies are like tall, like almost human size. And she would make it in the form that she saw, and it was like insanely popular. And her brand was Fairy Love.
Oh,
Fairy
no,
Love.
yes. I
know, them. Yeah. She's gorgeous, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and you could obtain fairy wings from other places, from high street shops, and from online retailers. It's not that it's not the same because it doesn't look as good. It's not the same because it's not the same, and that's that. It's not the same item. It's not the same product. So when you have fairy stuff from people that see fairies, or when you have dragon information from somebody who literally sees dragons, and we're actually waiting on somebody came. Oh, there we go. I think somebody came on Tuesday and said they've had dreams about dragons. And I said, I beg that you come on Thursday.
Thursday. Like, what day is it? You've got the days mixed up again. Come on Saturday.
Which is today. So I said, you have to come on Thursday and talk to Laura about it, because it's like a dragons expert. So I think it's the same. The Brian Froud stuff. The entire sort of Froud clan stuff. It's not going to be like fairy art. It'll be like a fairy experience, like a fairy encounter, because it's something that he sees with his own eyes. He paints inspired by them, and in their presence. Of course they're going to come and pictures out.
This is, and I don't think it matters how many times they've been printed or published. It doesn't that each card, each deck is still going to
there.
I love it. So and thank you for sharing that. Lady Thistle. Thank you.
That's so beautiful. And if it inspires anybody to sort of go down that path. But honestly, Laura, I admire your restraint in not kind of following them around and holding on to their ankles for like the entire event.
It's just everybody does do that. And I always feel a bit like, but what was funny is because Wendy Froud designed Yoda in Star Wars. My oldest friend Jen, she's obsessed with Star Wars, like obsessed, and the whole life obsession. And when Jen made these amazing gloves with like dragon scales on, and Wendy Froud bought one from my store with her there, and we were all a bit hungover, and Jen did not recognize this as Wendy Froud, and I was like going, and Jen was like, and she was so chill. Yeah, she was so chill. Going, oh yeah, and I waited like 5, 4, 3. That's Wendy Froud. She made Yoda, and Jen went, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So I'm so glad I didn't know, because I'd have probably passed out that she'd sold the woman that made Yoda something of her own crafting, And so I was like, shall we go and find Wendy and take a photo? She went, yeah, and I was like, come on then. So we got a photo of her in her gloves and everything like that.
But again, of Jen not rugby tackling her. You girls
when she realized
an inspiration to me.
Yeah, but only first of all because she didn't know. She was just like, hang on. I was like, you do realize? She's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
you were so cool. I thought, you don't know, do you? You're being way too cool.
They are incredible.
Yeah.
Incidentally, we've got. Let's do a few more messages before we run out. But Spawn says we should always be kind to ravens and crows. If you upset them, they remember and communicate with all other crows and ravens. They will not forget and will be aggressive when they see you. Yeah. I know.
I even heard that it passes down to their children too. That it passes down to that one's don't go near that human, or drop some pee on his head. So you won't even just die out when they die. It'll pass down in the family as well, which is good.
So there used to be, I don't know ravens or crows because it's the same word in Hebrew, but there used to be lots in front of my house when I grew up in like an apartment building. And I don't know who annoyed them, but they used to attack me. They would land like from the air. They'd come at my hair, and it was curly as well. And where I'm from, everybody wears this hair, so I can see how it can be confusing.
Yeah, they just saw the hair and went.
Yeah, they're like, she's trouble, and I'm like, no, I wouldn't even swear at you. But yeah, I used to get attacked by those crows all the time. Now when I visit, there's not that many crows, and I don't get attacked at all. So maybe it goes to children, but not to grandchildren. But yeah, it's really, really true. They're really
don't forget
these animals.
Oh, pretty.
And we've got Orion saying, I've been having more dreams about traveling through space and leaving Earth. Isn't that brilliant?
You have cool dreams, Orion.
Yeah.
That's the most boring dream sometimes. That sounds very cool.
Ooh, we've got a quick question from Diane, who says, out of curiosity, have you guys ever met people who came across like they could be fae? You know loads, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. But I also want to share this. Is like, I've had experience where people have been convinced that I'm a fae or not real, and told me that I'm not real. I'm like, how can I say the most boring thing to you so you know I'm real? And it's been after rituals both times. So it's something about being in that magical space or being in a place. It's not when I'm walking around. It's not when I'm walking around the shops. It's just like after being in a magical place for a while or being in a ritual. I've had it 3 times, and people have said to me that they don't believe I'm real, or they think I'm a fairy, and not in a funny way. Like, they actually are looking at me like quite scared. I'm like, no, honestly, totally normal. Well, I'm not normal, but
so that's exactly it. Because if you try to prove that you're ordinary, you're fighting a losing battle, and you're just convinced that only the Messiah denies his true divinity. It'll be like obvious that they were right in the first way. They'll walk away convinced that they've had this visitation.
Maybe it's a nice thing for them to, people go, oh, but I think it's the experience of being in ritual, or, having that magic, or being in a magical place for a while, that you imbue some of that otherworldly energy out to other people. But yeah, absolutely. I've met a few people that are definitely, people say they've got fairy blood. I don't know about that, but I know that people have got at least one foot in the other world. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never sort of identified people as fae, but when I used to do those festivals, again, weird old memories. I really hope that this is all the retrograde has got in store for me. Fingers crossed. The previous retrograde, I crashed my car. Expensive retrograde.
No more of that. So, no more of that.
Yeah, not into it now. But in those festivals, I used to do them with a friend, and she used to make fairy crowns. Again, she's always seen fairies. And which is the crown I still use for everything now. So it's a hardworking elderly crown. And somebody sort of came and talked to her, and when he walked away, she goes to me, "Oh, he's part fae." It's like mixed marriages. He's part fae. And I looked, and the guy is like, about my height, very slight, with pointy ears, like literally his actual ears. So I could see how she identified it, and I couldn't really see how I didn't, I didn't really identify it because I wasn't looking. Yeah, but it's the kind of thing that I think when you look for it, you'll see loads.
Yeah. So if you want to come to Glastonbury this weekend to the fairy fair and see how many fairies that you meet.
Yeah, I'll bet there's loads. So Diane also says the fairy guys from Brian Fruit Deck have been really supportive of my inner child work. It's been really nurturing.
Oh, I love that so much.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
And look at that. So Spawn, who knows everything, says, according to ancient mythology, Glastonbury Tour has a portal to Tiernanog.
Just the one.
Yeah, exactly. The entire thing.
Yeah, you're right. No, it is absolutely. Glastonbury's and there's a lot of mythology around the church arguing with the fairy king on the tour and trying to banish him, but you can't ban it. It is very much a portal, and you can go to, obviously you can go to the tour and experience that, and the different bits on the tour, and underneath the tour as well in the White Spring is definitely very portally. Yes, absolutely.
Rob says, isn't the oracle behind you on the shelf? I mean, it might be. Stranger things that have happened. But
I've always thought you've had it.
I really don't think so.
No. So it must be.
No, I have so few decks.
Yeah.
I'm really sort of the oddity, I think, in our entire community.
It's a good thing. That's strange. That's for strange.
You know what decks I have the most of? Old moldy Thoth decks.
Yeah,
I have lots of old moldy Thoth decks right there. Turns out they spread the mold.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah. No, actual moldy, because with the hands and stuff. Less so now in the Zoom life that we have. Yes. But back when I used to do like psychic fairs every night, and there'll be different people shuffling. But no, I don't think I've got the oracle deck. This might look to you like an oracle deck, but it's like a Parker's astrology pack from, I don't know, the 90s.
It's also always associated with you, but no.
I've got Liz Dean's The Magical Tarot. That might be what you're seeing, which I got, she got for £8. There was one time I went to Meadowhall for a day off. Remember those? Went for the day off. I know. Went for a day off in Meadowhall. Treated myself to a day off. One of my press contacts said, can you do some readings for, it was like the Love Island finale or something? And I was like, no, I'm on a day off. So she offered me some money, and I said to her, no, I'm on a day off.
We were on a break.
So she doubled it. I went into the works, got this for £8, set myself up in prep, and typed on my phone for 2 hours.
Excellent.
I know, which is really me sending a message to the universe. Can be bought. Will
for enough money.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and as long as I get to say what all the words are. All the words. But yeah, so I got this deck, and it's by Liz Dean, who I just a little bit know, and it's just Very, very cute. It was such a good backup. And one of my dreams, like one of my fantasies for a new generation. So I've got so few decks, but I have this one. One of my dreams for a new generation has always been that, you know, you should be able to sort of get crystals in regular stores and tarot cards in regular stores. And now that this happens, I don't really know what else we can aspire to as a society.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, no, there's plenty, but that was a huge one.
I love that. I love the fairies are kind of manifesting it behind you. So Rob's sort of seeing it and going, oh, no.
I know. I don't know what you're seeing. I mean, I know Rob, and I know that by now he's already taken a screenshot and circled something and sent it to me on one of the other phones. I know that. I haven't seen it, but that, you know, that has to be true. But I don't think anything is even thick enough to be.
I'm looking. It's quite a big, so I can't see it because it's quite a big.
There's only 2 shelves. It's only 2 shelves of magical stuff. Up there is other stuff, and down there is the boxes. But no, I have all the decks I have, except for the Liz Dean thing. All the decks I have are inside just one of these boxes. And a few of them are, you know, historic stuff. I also have like a miniature deck of Rider-Waite-Smith that my granddad, before he died, he used to bin hawk, which I think he had like the last 5 years of his life. I think he had like Holocaust flashbacks. So he would go in bins and sort of get things that he thought were valuable, and he would bring them out and he would give it to us as presents. And my mom's like, just put it in the bin when you come out, you know, make him happy, put it in the bin. Fabulous. And one time he came with a deck of tarot, like a miniature Rider-Waite-Smith, and I kept it, but it's missing a card. So I only use it like if I do demonstrations and stuff.
Yeah.
So in that box, we have so few decks that there's the room for one, you know, one 3-legged deck, about 4 or 5 sort of elderly thoughts, and then apart from that, there's only very, very few more. Very few. Have you got lots? Like, do you ever purge them, or do they move with you from property to property?
Yeah, I have done a little bit of a purge. I didn't think I was going to sell some, but I just gave them to a charity shop because I like finding nice things in charity shops. So it'd be nice for somebody else to find something nice in a charity shop. So I have tried to get rid of a few, because some just don't speak to you, do they? Or you buy it because the front cover card looks lovely, but the rest of the deck doesn't really. Yeah, so there's a few like that.
Or if you're never going to use it, and the artwork, I think I sent to the charity shop like my OM Oracle cards, even though they're so stunning, they're so gorgeous. I don't know and understand enough about the system, and the card wasn't really the place to start. A copy of the Mabinogion I never read. So I sent that to the charity shop, and I thought somebody's really going to enjoy that.
They'll be really excited when they see it. Yeah. Or maybe maybe one of your friends will find it and give it to you as a present. Oh, Inbaal would like this. Oh, it's come back.
Still, the charity's made her money out of it. So you know, that's really, really obvious. We've got just a couple more messages before we need to sign off. But Colleen helpfully says, crows live 5 to 7 years. Ravens live 20 to 30 years.
Super cool. That's amazing. Thank you, Colleen. Hello to all the horses.
And Marcus says, I hear that they got the idea for Spock ears from a Fae dream that Gene Roddenberry had.
Wow, that'll
be worth, isn't it? You know, worth investigating. Middle shelf, on the other side. This. Bill Bryson at home. Live from New York, the SNL story. Jerry Seinfeld. So yeah, let's look at one final message, and then we'll get we'll get the day going. So Marcus says, well, I say tarot and now runes before chemo and that. I used to do mediumship, getting back to that, but it's not easy the second time around.
Oh, let's put a card for you on that. I'll put a card for you on that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I just feel like you're just in a process. I don't think it's going to be hard for you. There's just a lot of, it's caused a lot of trauma, everything you, and there's maybe an expectation you have on yourself. I actually feel like you have a new way of reading things now, which is reflecting who you are now. I've got the Princess of Swords there. So it feels like just allowing is a bit of trust that's coming back to trust to allow the message to come through you. Might be in a different way. And it might be, I think you're going to get it back to a better way than you have before, actually. So that's kind of representing the pawliness that you've had to deal with and things clearing from your system, including this feeling of not safety or not trusting. And when that comes back, I feel you're going to be better or stronger than you were before. That's my feeling about it. What do you feel?
So exactly the same, that there are so many different ways to explore. So if we look at it as tarot, oracle, the runes that Marcus is loving so much with your book, it doesn't have to be exactly mediumship, but you can invent your own way. And there's other things for you to explore. I know that you know your way around astrology more than a little bit. And, you know, we've got at least one mystery one. So all of those, each of them is there to bring you joy. It's very possible, like Laura said, that the chemo experience and the, you know, experience of practically not being meant to be walking this earth anymore. You know, he was supposed to go in 2020.
Wow.
The man is... I know. Yeah. The man outstayed his welcome by a lot. So that experience of basically using all your magical ability to stay away from passing might make your soul a little less excited to go to the other side and talk to people. Yeah, you guys stay over there. I'm going to stay over here and we'll renegotiate some other time. So it makes so much sense for you to not be sort of jumping feet first into, head first into the mediumship this time. And there are so many other ways. And any of the psychic arts is as valid as any other.
Yeah.
I think there is kind of a sense that that psychic arts without tools somehow rank higher than psychic arts with tools. And first of all, you know, I'm here to say I don't think that's necessarily the case.
Agreed.
But I've done some lives back in pandemic days with medium Leonardo from Argentina, who is such a gifted medium. He is like incredible. He's quite a lovely, huge name there. And he said to me, "Oh yeah, I use the tarot for mediumship." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, you absolutely can." He's not the first person that said that, but he's the first person that said that to me with such like not just conviction, but to him it was ridiculous that I was questioning. Why wouldn't you? You can get everything else from the tarot. Why, of all the things, is mediumship the one thing you don't believe you can get from the tarot?
Yeah. I love that so much, and I don't like the snobbery that's around it. We've experienced
any snobbery.
Exactly. No snobbery. But I can imagine your spirit guides, Marcus, are going, "Why is he going to the other side? What? Wait, why?" I can imagine
why we keep him here.
Here.
We feet on the ground. Breathe in, breathe out. This is all we're asking of you. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep doing that another 40 years. We're happy. We're happy. We're in good terms. So yeah, but Marcus was not meant to make it in his 40s. During the eclipse, he celebrated his 44th.
Congratulations, Marcus.
Yeah, big success. Right, so we're running out of time.
Yeah.
We send kisses to everybody.
So much love.
And hopefully see you after Easter at some point.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing.
Yes. Brilliant.
See you then.
See you soon, guys. Bye. Bye.